If you're a new PS5 owner or an existing one, here are some tips and tricks to help you get the most out of your PS5. These will work on the original model, the Slim, and the upcoming Pro. So let's jump right in. Okay, when you turn on the PS5, you'll see a new Welcome Hub, which replaced the old Explore page. If you don't have it yet, this feature is still rolling out globally. Here, you can see widgets that show you some useful information. Selecting the pencil icon gives you the option to show or hide different widgets. There's trophies, battery level, storage summary, and a bunch more. The 4 squares icon allows you to change the layout from highlights, social, solo, and your preset is a custom one. I prefer having my own so I can move widgets around by highlighting one and pressing square, or resize them to my liking by using L1 and R1. Alright, for the first time, you can change your PS5's background by selecting the wallpaper icon. There are no themes, but you can choose from a variety of static backgrounds and animated ones from PlayStation. There's also a hidden background if you have nothing selected, but I like this one the best. When you press R1, there are some game-related backgrounds, but I only have this one from Astrobot. And if you switch to the last tab, you can set a screenshot as a background. So the PS5 is only 667 gigs of free space, and the PS5 Pro will be about double that. And if you want to add more space, there are 2 ways. The cheapest one is to use an external SSD or hard drive. You can play PS4 games straight from it, but you need to copy PS5 games to the internal storage in order to play them. The second way is to buy an M.2 SSD with a heatsink like the Samsung 990 Pro and install it inside your PS5. Just make sure it meets Sony's SSD requirements. To install one, remove the console cover and the metal plate, slide the SSD in and secure it, then put everything back. Now I have 2 TB of additional storage for games I buy but never finish. You can store and play both PS4 and PS5 games. And there's also an option to set a default location for any future games or apps. The PS5 offers a range of little customizations that I want to mention. If you like to game early in the morning or late at night, that startup sound can be a little loud. Well, you can reduce it or mute it altogether. Just go to Settings, System, Beep and Light. You can even reduce the brightness of the power indicator. Every time you log on the PS5, the mic is on by default, but if you rarely use it, you can actually mute it by going to Settings, Sound, Microphone. Now you'll see an orange light on the DualSense controller telling you it's muted. Pressing it will unmute or mute, but if you press and hold it, it'll mute the mic and all audio from the TV speakers or monitor. On the PlayStation Store, if you see a game you think you might play in the future, you can add it to your wish list. And what's nice is that you'll get a notification as soon as it's on sale. Games can also be added from the PS app, and you'll receive the same notification. Accessibility has some neat features like haptic feedback and the use of a second controller. When you turn on haptic feedback during console navigation, you feel a nice subtle vibration as you navigate around the PS5. The vibration intensity will also vary depending on what you're doing. The setting for Use Second Controller for Assistance does exactly that. Normally, when you turn on a second controller, the first one will turn off. But with this enabled, you can help someone without having to pass the same controller back and forth. The Assist controller will be missing some features like vibration, adaptive triggers, and motion controls. The PS5's control center is pretty simple, but you can customize it if you like. When you press the PS button, game cards and control center will appear, and pressing down then the option button allows you to customize it. I moved power to the first spot, so I don't need to scroll all the way to the right, and I hid some controls like music and VR. Not only can the PS button bring up control center, but it also has a few other functions. A long press will take you to the home screen, a double press will bring up objectives and details, and a press and hold will turn off the controller. The home screen shows your 10 recently played games, and the oldest one gets kicked off as soon as you play a new one. But there's a neat little feature called Keep in Home that lets you save up to 5 games on the home screen. The game needs to be in the top 10, but when you hover over one and press the option button, there's a toggle you can turn on. The game won't stay in that exact spot though, just in the first 5. In Game Library, you can add game lists under your collection for better organization. Just hit that folder icon, check off some games, add, enter a name and sort by, then confirm. They'll only appear here, but too bad you can't pin them to your home screen. Every game has a list of trophies that you can acquire before you hit that platinum one. But every time you get one, the PS5 will automatically take a screenshot and video, which only save on the console storage and take up space. So under Settings, Captures and Broadcasts, Captures, Trophies, you can choose to save only screenshots or videos of a certain type of trophy like Gold and Platinum. You can also auto-upload any game captures to the cloud and access them right on the PS app, but only within 14 days. When you check what trophies are missing, Some of them say hidden trophy to avoid spoilers, but if you don't care, you can go to trophies, press the option button, and select reveal all. Now every trophy will appear and tell you how to get it. The only downside is, you need to turn this on for every game, and I think it resets every time you boot up the PS5. For you trophy hunters, you can pin up to 5 trophies for easy access. Just find the one you want, then pin trophy, and when you're playing that game, press the PS button, go to the trophies card, and you'll see the ones you pinned right at the top. There are 3 ways you can search for your games. The first one is using the home screen and going through your most recently played games. And to the far right, we have the game library, where you can scroll through all of your games. The second way is to use the search icon in the top right corner of the home screen. If you press triangle, it'll jump straight to it instead of having to use the joystick or D-pad. Type in a few letters, and some games will pop up, but if you press L3 and R3, you can use motion controls to move around the keyboard. The last way is to use voice command. It's not on by default, but if you go to settings, voice command preview, you can toggle it on. So when you say the key phrase "Hey PlayStation," an icon will appear in the top left, and it'll start listening for a command. I can say, "Hey PlayStation, open Stellar Blade," and the game will launch. There are also other commands like controlling media, recording gameplay, and showing the game help card. If you don't have the PS app installed, then I highly recommend you do, because there are a few things you can do without needing to turn on the PS5. You can read and reply to messages, or check which friends are online. You have full access to the PS Store, so you can buy a game and have it start downloading on the PS5, if it's in rest mode. You can even view all of your games, captures, and storage, and if you want, delete some games. I have a question for you. Do you leave your PS5 in rest mode or turn it off? Personally, mine's always in rest mode. I find it more convenient to have the system updates and games ready right when I boot up the PS5. I have a little short, and I found the PS5 uses less than 1 watt with everything turned on except the USB power. I have the official DualSense charging station to keep my controllers fully charged. I also use the PS Portal every day, so I need to keep it in rest mode. And now for some bonus tips. Notifications can be fine-tuned under settings. Maybe you don't want them to pop up at all, or you just want to hide certain ones while you're playing a game. You can also turn on Do Not Disturb in Control Center, but it'll turn off as soon as you log out. Privacy can also be fine-tuned by going to Settings, Users and Accounts, Privacy. You can choose a specific profile or manually customize it yourself. Under Settings, Sound, Audio Output, there's an option to disable home screen music, but this also applies to your games. Game presets for supported games lets you set a default setting when you start a new game. You can set the difficulty to the hardest or have a game run in performance mode. And if you ever need to troubleshoot your PS5, you can enter safe mode. When the PS5 is completely off, press and hold the power button until you hear a second beep, or at least 7 seconds. It's a very basic mode, but make sure you have a backup before you do anything. These are just a few ways that enhance your PS5 experience. If you have any other tips or tricks, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!